It's not good beer.
Can I respond with specific words?
At this point, you gotta be quick. So your choice is gonna be.
Well,
again,
it'd be 2 words.
Oh, possibly. What are the words?
It would be Levi leave.
Levi leave. Levi leave. I think that. Trying to think how this goes here. If you do that, chances are he's going to know that there was someone there, unless you can find a way of doing it that he wouldn't think you're actually having a conversation. Because right now, he thinks there's someone that just called in through that door. So if you respond back to him, he's going to assume there's someone there, and chances are he's going to still go there instead of to you.
I mean, as I say that, I would throw my hands up and then let him come back to my sides, and then throw my hands up, let him come back to my sides.
So you're going to start doing jumping jacks?
No,
Or
I'm
flapping like a
still
bird.
laying down. Like, the only thing that is moving, like, is my arms going up and then coming back down.
Okay,
So he
I'm
thinks...
going to have you try to convince that you're not talking to someone outside, that you're just talking to yourself.
Yep.
Playing your little fun wave game. I don't think you have any statuses right now.
Nope. I'm all good. I didn't get handcuffed, so...
I'm gonna actually invoke your weakness savior mentality. Because yeah, I think you kind of got a little bit of that going on right now.
Okay. Would underworld reputation apply?
Explain your thoughts.
Everybody's gonna die. What did I miss?
No, nobody's dying. I was just thinking because, you know, the guy's... Well, I guess he's drunk. He's not a criminal.
He's a criminal.
I mean, I could still kind of, in a way, see that he would kind of have that kind of, you know... Just kind of get that feeling about me.
Are you, like, trying to invoke just insanity in the cells kind of thing? Like, you're already singing...
Prison riot!
Just, we're all gonna go crazy now and start yelling random words.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was going for.
Is that what you chose? I had to enter a phone call. I didn't.
Okay.
You're just causing a riot now?
No, I'm not causing a riot. I'm just laying in bed.
Well, he's saying the word Levi leave and trying to do it in such a way that the constable doesn't assume that he's actually talking to someone and telling them to leave.
Oh.
So it's going to take definitely a convince. Herber. What's going on over here?
Because otherwise I don't have any other power tags that work.
That's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you may not have any power tags.
I mean, I could do astrophysical, but...
I don't think that's really helping you with your voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Just project a person on the other side of the thing.
He doesn't have that anymore.
No, I still have astrophysical.
Yeah, but you don't have your clones.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with astral.
You know what? don't need to know what you do on your Friday nights. That's all you. All right, give us this roll. We all want to see this roll.
All right.
See if Levi
Underworld
has
or
taken.
no?
I think I'm gonna have to say no. I don't.
Okay.
I don't think the guy next to you is gonna be able to help you with this. Right now, you're literally trying to convince the guard that you saying Levi leave is not a conversation with someone on the other side of the door.
And... Nope.
Okay. Fun
You're
times.
screwed. Sorry, Levi, you're dead too.
So William, how's your sleep going?
It's nice and peaceful. Man, I'm sure glad I'm not in prison or anything.
It's true. You have this brief like dream of the like you almost start having a nightmare of the worst things that could possibly happen after you left, and you know you see them get locked inside the building. For some reason, you know, Mike is like dragged by his ears and thrown into a cell. You see Levi being like dragged kind of back into the back corral and like tied behind a horse, and the horse is whipped and told to run. Just kind of a weird dream. Kind of wakes you up with a jolt, and then you realize it was all a dream.
Yeah.
You have any other plans tonight?
Jesus, the echo.
Sorry.
Well, I was gonna sleep through the night and then get up and then go visit the inspector in the morning or talk to that family. But I guess now that I'm awake, I'm gonna go for a walk.
Okay.
See if I can find something to eat.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I'm feeling parched.
It's about 11 o'clock at this point, and you're on campus. Where do you normally go on your hunt?
Well, usually Critsndie was a pretty good place, but
Yeah.
you know. But so I think I'll still go to Critsndie.
Okay.
He's a little sleepy.
It takes you a little while to get there. But you're pretty quick. You still got your speed. Going through the slums, still a bit uncomfortable, but you're able to make your way around. And yeah, you get to Critsndie. You notice that the area is very bright. The moon is reflecting off of the lake, and it actually reflects pretty far into the edges of the city, up to the river, and then back into the slums. And on the shore, there's a man there, maybe about 67 years old. He's sitting on a small wooden stool, and he has a fishing pole in his hand. You see a little basket next to him with what you would assume to be his tackle bag. But he's just sitting there, kind of looking out on the lake, almost very peaceful. He doesn't hear that you've approached.
And I don't think he will. Until I sit down next to him.
Oh, dear me. Where did you come from, young chap?
I'm just out for a nice walk.
I see. It's a beautiful place to walk around, isn't it?
It is.
be honest with you, I'm not all that sure that there's really anything in here to catch, but I figured, why not give it a try when there's not that many people around? It's a bit quieter. Say, don't I recognize you? Yes, yeah, you go to that gym off of Fulton Avenue, don't you? I swear I've seen you beating that dummy in the back for quite a while.
Yeah, it's great exercise, and it leaves me famished though. No.
I won't lie. It does remind me of my younger days myself. So you see, I was a bit of a fencer. I definitely don't have the strength in me anymore to carry on, but it is good to see those still carrying on the arts of swordcraft. You've come quite the ways, haven't you? Must have been a long walk.
It's quicker than you think.
I see. Well, if I had a spare rod, I'd certainly offer it to you. I'm afraid I don't. I do have a bit of wine. Are you interested?
No, thank you.
Not a problem. My name is Jonathan. What is your name?
They call me Will.
Will, it's very nice to meet you. Very nice indeed. This is just a beautiful place, isn't it? There's just something alluring about it. I'm not sure what it is. Perhaps it's that clean smell in the middle of such desolation. It is definitely something interesting. I'll tell you what, if I'm able to catch something you're still here, I'll make sure to share it with you. We can see what kind of bounty we might be able to get from this lake.
I think the fish, if there are any, just need to be fed a bit more. Grow a bit bigger.
So what kind of bait would you recommend? Right now I'm just using grubs. He kind of pulls the line out of it, and you can see there's a worm dangling on it. I have you think bread, or what would you recommend?
I'm just gonna put my arm around his shoulder and then say, well, we'll experiment and find out, and then I'm gonna, I'm gonna get my food. So we're gonna.
So
go
as
after.
you lean over, you kind of see this reflection in the water, and it kind of slows to a crawl. And you recognize the face. You start seeing him, again, an older man, but still trying to keep his wits about him, punching the boxing, the bag, lifting weights. And you don't see him as just another meal. You see them as a person. He has a life. You have a mystery. How do I get my thirst under control? Do you feel like you're making a hard choice right now?
I feel like I would be conflicted, yes.
Okay. You definitely feel this struggle within you. Like you see your eyes, and you see your humanity. You see the history teacher. You see the husband. You see the teacher of kids, and then you see your fangs, and your stomach rumbles, and you feel hungry, and you feel longing for the taste of blood. But it is a longing battle that is on the verge of nuclear explosion.
That's okay. The thirst is gonna win out.
So do you believe you're making a hard choice then by going that direction?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up sacrificing a lot of things if I do this.
Okay.
But it's just
so
too great.
for that move, make a hard choice. When the answers to your mysteries are within reach, but you forego them, mark fade on that mysteries theme.
Afraid. There we go.
So with from the camera's perspective as we watch this, there is no pause. It is instant. Your arm slowly reaches around him. You pull him over, and your fangs are in his neck. Blood begins to slowly drip. A bit of it drips into the edge of the water. And as it hits you, you notice the water is not clear. It almost appears to be a bit milky. When the blood hits, it begins to bubble a bit, dissipate, and then disappear. How far do you feed on this gentleman?
Well, I can't just let him get away. You know, he knows who I am, so
Okay.
I have to go all the way.
So I'm gonna have you change the game so you can get some juice. And then we can describe of how you will be using that juice.
So we're gonna use some tags. What tags we want to use here? We're gonna use some super speed and some. We're just gonna use some super speed here. Here we go. Hey.
Awesome. All right, so you get some juice. So you can either use that juice to create a story tag. You can burn a power tag or story tag. You can give yourself a status of 1.
How much juice do I get? 1?
You get 1, yeah. Actually, no, you get a minimum of 2. Sorry, yeah, minimum of 2. So you can give yourself like a status of fed 2, something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd do that. That sounds...
Okay. And then whenever you do something that seems having fed, will
There we go. Go with well-fed.
So after about 5 minutes of consuming, you are once more drenched in blood. His body falls limp. The last whimper of air leaves his lungs.
I'm gonna push him into the lake.
As he begins to sink, you see his body kind of turn and float, and his eyes, still wide open in that face of shock, sinks, fades into the darkness. After a few seconds, you see the bubbles rise once more. They last for a few moments and then disappear. His stool still sits there. His bag still sits there. The rod is dipped in between the lake and the shore.
So I'm gonna take that stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take that shirt off, you know, and I'm gonna fold it up and put it on top of the bag, and I'm gonna go home. Take all that stuff with me.
All right. So back in the jail cell.
Hi.
Levi just called out, "Mike, is that you?" Mike has responded, "Levi, leave!" throwing his arms up and down. And Levi, as he says this, your vision is obscured as the face and hat of a constable stands now in front of the window looking directly at you. "Who the fuck are you? And how did you get in there?" He immediately reaches for the door to open it. What do you do?
Um. Well, I'll answer his question. Somewhat. I was waiting here earlier. I was told by a lady upstairs to wait till later to see if I believe it's Inspector Pasco. Yeah, Inspector Pasco, to come back later. He's it's very late and he's still not here, and I'm getting rather worried, and that's why I peeked over to look in there to see if I could see if maybe he was roaming the cells.
Okay. I'm gonna have you go toe to toe. Again, go. What are these moves? Yes, you might think you're trying to convince him, but more right now, you're trying to control the situation. Whereas he wants to just go in there and beat your head in, you're trying to give him a rational perspective of the situation. So on go toe to toe, when you use your abilities to overcome someone or something in a struggle for control, state what your goal is. It sounds like your goal is to calm him down. And your opponent can describe how they respond at their option. Roll plus power on a 7 to 9, choose 1 on a 10 plus. Choose 2. I don't know if hidden will really help you in this situation.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about that.
I don't think it
Not
will.
really hidden at this point.
No, he sees you. He sees your face there. You
I
see
can run
his-
away and hide.
You could do that instead. And I'm gonna have
Definitely
to,
guilty.
just because it's here, I'm gonna have to invoke the weakness tag, no authority. Cause you don't got no authority.
Side question: isn't the main lobby kind of a semi-public area?
Oh, I mean, when there's people here, yeah. But you mean like to the street, or what do you meaning?
Well, I mean, in the regards of the fact that I was told to wait and I'm waiting.
I think it's more the fact that he literally thought he took everyone that was in here out, because he took Mike out, he locked the doors. In his mind right now, the only way you could have gotten in there is by breaking into there.
Fair enough. Let's see. Well, persuade thoughts, I'd imagine.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Would ambition have any place in this?
Ambition to not get caught? Sure, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. And, ooh, okay, darker the mind, the brighter the light. Because he's awfully against me right now.
Well, again, there's a
know.
reason. He thinks you're a criminal that broke into the police station. I'm not sure he's like an evil person. I don't know if that one would work with him.
All right. Am I able to use any of these crew theme things like the order badge?
If you can explain how you would use it, yeah. So the thing with crew tags is that they can be used once per session, and then they're burned. And that's the same thing with extra tags as well. So for your normal power tags, you can use those as many times until they're burned. For crew power tags or extra tags, you can use them once, and then they're burned and can be recovered in the normal way that you recover burnt tags. But yeah, if you can explain how you would use it, sure.
Well, okay. Well, the way I would use that is, I flash the badge in a way and kind of try to use it as a sense of authority, I guess. As, like, you know, these are the people that sent me to come here in the first place. on very important business, and I was told to speak to Inspector Pasco Vione, almost. The last name that no one can remember.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So take those 3 minus the weakness, so 2.
Okay, yeah, and it's toe to toe.
Go toe-to-toe, that's right. You're trying to control the situation. Okay,
That's
so you
okay.
can choose one of those.
Oh, let's see. I guess, well, no, what is my goal? That would be good to know. It's, well, I guess at this point it's to get out of there.
So I'll tell
Yeah, I
you.
guess
probably-
achieve my goal.
I'll tell you how he's probably going to respond in 2 ways. He's either going to simply arrest you, or you're going to be under suspicion. If you achieve your goal, you'll be under suspicion. If you inflict a status over him, depending on what the status is, you know, we can go from there.
Well, let's see. What would get them good be in this case?
The status could be like you could give him a convinced 2 status. In which you convinced him of what you're saying is true. But he also will then be in control of the situation, meaning he will probably open the door and corner you into an area to be able to continue the conversation.
I'm gonna go with achieve my goal of not being arrested and getting out of there.
Okay. So you achieve the goal to kind of make him trust what you're saying is true. I am going to give you a status of under suspicion 1. So he opens the door, and he puts his billy club kind of back into his belt. So you're here waiting for the where have you been waiting exactly?
I was kind of in a dark corner in one of the chairs over on that side of the lobby. It's kind of hard to see me. I don't have a lot of body to see. I'm used to not being seen. I kind of live. Well, I don't really live anywhere. I kind of live on the side streets, and no one pays much attention to me unless I start playing music.
You didn't see me escort the big one out of here, and think perhaps you should make your way out as well.
I must have dozed off, but I heard drunken yelling, and it kind of caught my attention.
I see.
And I'll yell, Levi, leave.
Turns around. All right. Just so you know, your friend is being held under suspicion of lunacy. He will be seeing a psychiatrist in the morning.
Suspicion.
If you know of any family or anyone he was supposed to return to tonight, perhaps you can let them know. But I think it might be best that you leave. If you want to return in the morning, that would be fine. Tell me, what was your name, son?
You can call me Levi.
That's great, Levi, but what is your full name? I will need to make a report of this circumstance. Just for bookkeeping records.
I, as far as you're concerned, don't have any family. I don't have a last name, I'm just Levi.
No, son. As far as my concern, you are in a locked government facility. You have family. You did not just appear from the dirt. Do you not remember your last name? Is that what you're saying?
I choose to forget.
You gotta tell me something, boy. I can't just put down Levi. That's my superiors are not going to accept that. They need some kind of name. Just give me something.
Yeah, just I don't put down Levi. I'm not sure.
All right. Whatever. Kind of grabs you by the arm and starts leading you to the front door. Goes to the door, unlocks it, swings it open. You have yourself a good night, Levi. Again, if you know any family of the big man, let him know he'll be home in the morning. Or they might have to pick him up at a later point.
Oh, he's got some very important family. Don't worry, he will. We'll get him.
Very well. Travel safe.
Have a good night.
As you're talking, he just slams the door closed. Locks it. You look down the sidewalk and there's like 3 or 4 holes that have been dug into the dirt by the tree, and there's a couple seeds that are laying there. But the rest of the night is pretty empty.
For no particular reason, I'm going to go over there and pack those holes in.
Okay.
So that it's not just an open seed.
Yeah, there's 3 bulbs of some sort. You pack them all up with dirt.
And then out comes a constable and says, "Stop digging in the dirt, you're going to jail."
You're going to jail.
He's obviously not happy.
Constable comes in and goes over to your cage there, Mike, and just looks at you for a moment. This poor lad. Don't worry, boyo. We'll get you help in the morning. And with that, the camera fades, and we will end tonight's session. All right. Well, no one died.
Surprisingly.
Well,
no,
Spoon can't get to me.
It's true. An old man did die. I did lie. An old man did perish.
Nobody died. It's okay.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit. So as Mike sleeps his night in the cell, William makes his way home with a bag of bloody clothes once again, and Levi makes his way to his home, not knowing exactly what the next day might be. Let us geek out during credits. So Levi, we'll start with you. You can answer one or more of the following questions. How has the crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction? And which of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place?
Is there a way I can unburn that tag?
You can do that the next time we play during the montage.
Okay, I wasn't sure what
Though
phase
I'm not.
that was in.
I'm sorry. The echo. We'll get
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
fine.
Talking right away.
I just wasn't sure what phase to do that in.
Yeah. We might have to discuss how you would do it, because it's not like a physical thing. You're under suspicion from the constables, but we'll discuss that next time to make sure. But yeah, do you feel like you would rather... I mean, I guess you don't really have any burnt crew power tags. You could mark attention to the crew theme if you wanted. Add a help or hurt point. Or talk about any themes you feel you aren't using that much, or might be possible that as you continue on, might be under strain, and we can talk about what might show up. Whatever.
So one of those was, which crew member was helpful?
Mm-hmm. Either help or hurt.
I'm gonna definitely put Mike down for help, because if he had not banged on the wall and startled me, I probably would have been caught by somebody.
Mm-hmm. Solid plan, mate. I was the most useful. Just so you
Sleeping
know.
in your bed.
Killing old guys and sleeping in my bed. Allegedly.
Who knows? No evidence, right? Just the guy's belongings.
There ain't nobody dead.
Oh, that poor gym membership, though. Gonna lose that whole 25 whatever coin is in our universe.
25 pence or whatever the...
Is it quid?
I don't know.
Um,
We left the Union. We don't care.
so we've only seen it a little bit in our games, and since this is our first time, it might be an interesting thing to talk about a little bit about the evolution of characters. So we did see it tonight with what we call Fade, and then we also have whatever the Logos one is, I think Crack.
Yeah.
And so even though the way characters are created, you know, you have your 4 different themes. They're either based off your mythos, so the fantasy elements of your character, or Logos, which is going to be the humanity part of it. And it's an always struggling battle. Your humanity always wants to be more human. Your mythos always wants to be more myth. The way that changes are through either moments where you're focusing down to say, the identity I have with my Logos is true and I will stick to it. Then you mark attention and it gets stronger. The moments where you have to go against that identity, whether you don't agree with it or you're forced into a situation where you have to actually kind of disobey it, then it begins to crack. That part of humanity begins to disappear, whether it's because you no longer maybe believe that identity is true, or you're starting to lose power or control of that aspect of your life. The same thing with your mythos. Your myth is always driving you to question more about how far can you take this. You know, it wants you to literally become an avatar, but doing so could be sure destruction and a detriment to the city. But if you have the opportunity to possibly get a clue or answer one of those questions to get a deeper understanding of the powers you have, then again, you can make that part of your life grow and become more powerful. But if you decide to either turn away from the opportunity or actively refuse to answer that question, then that part will fade. So as these pieces begin to fade and crack, they're then replaced by an opposite theme. So if you lose a mythos, then you gain a Logos, so you're becoming more human. If you lose a Logos, then you gain a mythos, you're becoming more myth. And it goes back and forth, and it could be, you know, something that happens within an instant, like we saw with Phazon's character, where you just lose a theme and like that your character's changed. Or it can be something that's slow, which I think we'll see a lot in Spoon's character, this struggle of, I need to feed, do I want to control it or not? You know, your question is wanting to be able to control, to not have to feed on humans, but you also see the benefits of doing so. So I think that'll be an interesting thing. So for each of your characters, I'd like for you guys to just describe how you see the evolution of your character, and then what are some interesting aspects of your mysteries and your identities, whether it's clues for your mysteries or ways to challenge your identities that you find interesting, intriguing, and something you would actually like to participate in. So we'll start with you, Levi. If you want to, pick one in particular. We don't have to go through all 4 of them, but give us an idea of, it could be something vague. I really think that I want to focus on my mythos to get more powerful with that, or I really like the split aspect, so I want to stay even. Or I just want to see a very sporadic character where things happen at a rapid way, so he's always changing. What do you think?
I definitely, I feel like I'm definitely more partial to the idea of trying to keep it even as it is and kind of subtle. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't completely follow with the everything that you were lecturing about just a minute ago. Sorry if that was a demeaning term.
No. So yeah, basically for me, in order to give you opportunities like Spoon had, to either make a hard choice where you have an answer to your mystery, but you choose to ignore it, or a chance to actively go against your identity, it would be helpful for me to have an idea of what you think those answers might be, so the kinds of clues I can sprinkle in. And then for your identity, what are some ways that would be acting against it? So again, I can set up those opportunities where you have the decision to make.
Well, to keep things, for a few reasons, to keep things more interesting, I guess a more volatile character would be a great way to do that, with having, things rapidly changing and not really remaining the same. That also helps me with the fact that I've never really done any kind of D&D style thing before. It helps me start thinking about how to put stuff together better and getting more accustomed to it.
Yeah. So let's just pick, like, the identity. The street is my home, right? You identify that your home is the street in general. What is a way that you could be challenged to disobey or disagree with that statement?
If I'm either presented with the fact that I have enough money, or someone's offering up a good enough location that I could stay where I'm off the streets, would be a bit tempted to maybe leave the streets and take up shop in an actual shelter.
Awesome, thank you. Let's go over to Mike. Mr. Mike, sleeping in the jail cell. Might be a bit late to work tomorrow. Making me have to pull things out of my ass as usual, and you know what that gets us.
It's okay, his boss will show up. His boss knows
his boss
he's
is
missing.
just gonna happen to be like, "Oh, Mike, I have that tracker on you. I know exactly where you are."
No. He doesn't know exactly where I am.
This
But
one guy
there's
out of
only
50 that
been
worked for me.
one other time that I've missed work.
Exactly, and that's why we're gonna have that flashback move when we come back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna
Or
set it
his
up.
boss somehow gets arrested and ends up in the
There you
same
go.
house.
His boss is a
Probably,
drunk guy
to be
next
honest, it's probably the Irish guy next to me,
There
and
you
he's
go.
gonna be pissed.
him. Wait, is that you, Mike? I smell. What are you doing in here? You got a job in the
Smell?
Yeah. He is wet and smelly.
Have you ever seen him or smelled him? It's horrible. Imagine how bad it is for me.
Imagine how bad it is for his wife that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't have
he has
one.
a lady friend.
Yeah, I've got a lady friend at the market.
She must not have a nose.
Well, I mean, I've been coming into the market. She's had to deal with me because I'm a customer. So,
I mean, she's a market in like the old boroughs. I'm pretty sure she's used to smells.
yeah, the smells are not the worst part.
But she's a lady friend because she has no choice, but the customer is always right.
True.
No.
There's other things at this
The
point.
customer's king. That may not always be right. Still gotta listen.
She really digs that trash-scented cologne you got on.
Hey, some people are into some weird stuff.
What is that? Ode to asshole? Was that what that is?
So, Mr. Mike, what is your question you're going to ask? And if you don't have any you want to do tonight, feel free to give me an idea of how your character might evolve, what kind of clues you would like to see, or what kind of challenges you would like your identities to face.
Probably the routine would be under strain.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think for the first time the good
In
of
a
the
long
company
time.
and all of that, yeah, it definitely might be under strain. What happens if Mike loses his job? I think that's a
Oh,
big
I ain't losing my
question.
job.
That is a big question.
The only way I don't have that job is if I leave that job.
You say that.
You say
No.
that, but you never know if a replacement might show up at some point.
He
There just
is
happened-
the job.
There just happens to be this little 19-year-old kid that comes up and is like, "Hey, I need a place to work."
Yeah, guess what? They'll do my route once and they will walk out of that place.
I got this guitar, you know.
Or
I can charm
they'll
the
end
trash.
up dead and then I'll have a job again.
You say that like I don't know my way around town in the first place and enjoy walking everywhere already.
You say that like an entire district can't just randomly be sunken beneath a wave or of lake and that entire area disappear.
Yeah, it's currently existing, so my job is secure.
Look, I just nuked an entire slum, so are you sure you want me replacing you at your job?
You can't replace me. You can't pick up half the bags and put it in the cart.
Oh, do you think so? Do you really think that's
The
case?
thing
Yeah.
is, though, Mike,
You
the
scrawny
thing
little
is,
ass.
you are not as fast as you used to be. So you might have
I
noticed
don't
over
have
the
to be fast. I have a
True.
cart.
You-
I use the cart. I don't use my speed.
The cart comes from the pit, though. It's like offered because you
Yeah.
work there.
Yeah,
Art's
when
not part
it,
of you.
when
See,
it
that's the
breaks-
interesting thing. If I could definitely see this kind of conversation going as you start fading from that part. Like, what is it that you're seeing? Is it because perhaps you've cleaned a bit too much and there's not as much trash, or is someone trying to take your job?
That's the only reason that I can do my job every day is because I show up every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of wiped out. Well, no, not we. I kind of wiped out the dirtiest place in this city.
Well, yeah,
True.
but nobody really cleaned that up.
No.
Oh, so
And-
you're not doing
we-
your job?
No. We did that collectively as a company on Wednesdays. Like, nobody wanted that area, so everybody had to do that area.
Right. You're just lazy.
I'm the hardest working guy at the company. The boss
You're the
loves
only
me.
working guy at the company, according to you.
No, there's lots of people. I traded shifts with that one guy and he said, never again.
Yeah, it was probably like 13, 14 workers, I would think, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So routine definitely seems like it might be out of your control necessarily to lose. What are
Well,
some ways
yeah,
then?
it's-
Let's talk about that. What are some challenges I can put in front of you that you would find interesting to challenge the good of the company comes first? So some things could be like, finding out the company does bad things, or
Yeah, that'd probably be the way it would have to go for getting Mike to leave. I mean, he could be fired, yes, but the company's gonna be hurt. Because when I'm doing the like flipping the furniture and stuff, that's to the profit of the company, not to me. That's why the boss doesn't care that I have my own warehouse building.
where do they sell that stuff?
I sell it in my spare time.
Okay. All right. Well, William, let's talk.
Good to the company.
Sure.
You had some meal,
Tasty.
and a nightmare, and tomorrow, when you wake up, you gotta go back to school. So we'll see how recently fed vampire William does at school.
Yep.
Um,
That's the one that's probably gonna crack soon is the routine. I'm with Phazon. That's probably gonna break first.
Yeah. So what happens then? What happens if William loses his job, he loses his home. He's not going to live
He
on
loses
campus.
his home. He probably loses his wife,
His income.
his income.
But on the other side of that, he's losing it because he is becoming a stronger vampire, which is a bit difficult to grasp with your mythos, but I think it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. What are some other ways that you can be challenged? Let's see, what is your thing for that? The kids need to be shown the way.
The kids!
The darn kids. So what are some interesting challenges for that? The way not necessarily being something you agree on, or the kids not being worth shown the way? What are some challenges?
Yeah, that
Well,
new little bastard. Mouthing off in class.
Well, see, now, if I don't have to follow some kind of BS thing that the school makes me teach, I could teach them real stuff.
Like feeding.
Start my own school.
Call it Harvard.
Yeah.
Name it after yourself.
Gee, it's almost like I had this planned.
And what question are you looking at?
Question. I have a question.
What are you looking at, Chris?
I'm
I
just
don't know.
passing the time while you do this.
Yeah, that's why I'm lost. I don't know what's happening. I'm just looking at
He's
pictures.
just scrolling through weird ass pictures.
So what
Well,
question
that is
am I?
what the stream is, or not the stream, the Reddit is stuff that makes you go,
Okay. What question am I? What's going on here?
The credit geek out, end of credit.
Oh, it's the last one, the theme thing.
Okay.
I think routine's under the most strain at this point.
Awesome. All right. Well, when we return, we will jump back into this case, see what happens with Mike, see if there's any issues at all. Head
Who's
off
the drunken
to
guy in the next cell?
head off to somewhere else. I think there's a few options that Levi knows of that we'll see if he informs the rest of the group. So yeah, that is what I have for the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. If you all have anything you'd like to hype out, now's the time. I know, Chris, you're actively streaming, so if you want to give out your social stuff, definitely do that, and I'll make sure to have links down below the video for you as well, Spoon. Phazon, I don't think you exist online. I think you hide,
Nope.
so you're just the voice.
Yep.
So yeah, let's do our post introductions, and we'll wrap this shiz up.
Well, I mean, all I can really shout out is my channel, which is twitch.tv/AntVenom1999. Same thing on YouTube, although I don't really post anything on YouTube. That may change, but it's mostly just going to be streaming for now.
Very nice. Mr. Spoon?
I ain't got nothing.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay, well, Spoon ain't got nothing. Phazon, he's just the sexy voice we all hear.
Yes, sir.
I'm MrJPStilts. I'll be the one posting to Critsndie. And that's all we have. So, thank you, boys, for playing. And for everybody in the interwebs, thank you for watching.